Hello, Scorpio. This is your general reading for the week of the 18th to the 24th of June, 2023. Scorpio, this is general reading for sun, moon, or rising, depending on what you resonate with. Let's have a look and see what message or messages comes up for you, Scorpio. Scorpio. So let's see what comes up for you this week, Scorpio. Show me messages or message that comes up for Scorpio, week of 18th to the 24th of June. So Scorpio, I want to say that it looks like there's been some kind of disagreements this week. I feel like there's some contradictory energy here in the fact that there may be a few people that are arguing against one another. I feel like somebody could have maybe been a little bit abusive with their words in general. They may have been a little bit critical. I definitely feel like there's some critical energy here. And I feel like somebody's been arguing with somebody else. They may be having the attitude that they're better than somebody else. I kind of feel like this boastful, kind of egotistical person. And I kind of feel like they may be actually a little bit bossy. I feel like they're kind of bossy and critical, and they may be kind of doling out just a little bit too much. I feel like you're in this position, like you're kind of waiting and you really don't know how to proceed in this situation. You're kind of trying to have to make a choice as to if staying in this kind of negative environment is going to be good for you or not. I feel like you're trying to make a choice and kind of trying to resolve this issue as best as possible. But I feel like for whatever reason, the communication just isn't there. So unable to communicate, unable to find the words to communicate, all it does is sometimes leads to these arguments. I feel like these energies here are arguing, these people here are arguing, and there's really no resolution. I feel like you're kind of waiting and waiting on some kind of resolution. I kind of feel like you're waiting for a solution, for some kind of ending to happen, and I just don't see it happening. However, I do see by the end of the week there could be some kind of emotional resolution regarding whatever this argument was. And this could quite possibly be an argument that you've had with a partner or with a spouse or with a family member or a coworker. But I feel like for whatever reason, you're kind of having to wait for this resolution. I don't feel like it may happen suddenly. I feel like it might take a minute or two prior to being resolved. But I kind of feel like one person is going to have to not necessarily give in, but I feel like one person is going to have to take the upper hand and kind of make an apology. So whatever this argument was, whatever transpired in this argument, whoever was being critical or judgmental or controlling or just generally bossy or just generally nasty, whoever was being this kind of way, I feel like somebody is going to have to take the upper hand essentially and go ahead and try to placate this person with an apology. Scorpio, I'm feeling like even if you're in the right, perhaps you were right, whatever this argument was, I feel like for whatever reason, you may need to take the upper hand and placate this argument or this energy with an apology. Even if they were incorrect, even if they were essentially wrong and you were right, I feel like sometimes we just have to be the bigger person and go ahead and sometimes apologize, even if we know that we were right, because sometimes it's all we can kind of do to diffuse the situation. Sometimes you have to show love in the face of hatred, and that's kind of how you placate some of these kind of people. I feel like this energy, whatever this energy was, whoever this person was, they're kind of a nasty person. And I feel like you've been waiting on this resolution. You may be waiting for an apology from them, actually, Scorpio. You've been waiting for this argument to come to an end and kind of even seeing if it's worth it, weighing like what exactly are you gaining, if you're gaining anything, and kind of having to make a decision if it's even worth it at this point, moving forward with this person, or even staying in this kind of energy. And sometimes the only way to resolve it, the only way to come to completion in this kind of situation is to kind of, take the upper hand, make the apology, and then that way the energy kind of diffuses itself and you're able to move forward, and then you have to make the decision moving forward, like, do you want to spend more time with this person or not? Because maybe you don't. Maybe this energy is not energy that you want to entertain anymore. I'm feeling like a lot of bickering going on. I'm feeling a lot of nasty energy, a lot of, cutthroat kind of energy, maybe bossiness, and just generally somebody that kind of is critical and argumentative. And I really feel like, Scorpio, like you may have to take the upper hand and come in and kind of placate that energy. This may be an argument that two of your friends have had, and maybe you have to come in as a mediator and kind of placate the situation. However, this could be an argument very well that you have had with somebody, and I feel like you'll have to take the upper hand. You'll have to be the bigger person here. You'll have to be the older, more mature person in this situation and diffuse it by using a little bit of emotion, a little bit of sensitivity, a little bit of compassion. I feel, Scorpio, like you'll have to be the more mature individual and move in and say, you know what, whatever happened, let's just, let's agree to disagree and let's move on. I feel like you've kind of been waiting for the solution to come, waiting for the end to come, essentially. And, I don't feel like it will on this other person's part. I feel like you'll have to take the upper hand here. I feel like you'll have to be the adult, so to speak, and make amends and show a more mature and wise side to the situation, stepping in and saying, let's just agree to disagree, go our own ways. And, if we're going to stay in a relationship, if we're going to stay together, if we're going to stay friends, whatever, let's just agree to disagree in the future and just, try to get away from this bickering, try to get away from this judging and throwing comments back and forth, because it's really nonsensical and it really doesn't bring us to any kind of conclusion. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for you for this week, Scorpio. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and have a good week.